Step into a future where every square foot matters, a future where affordability, sustainability, and cutting-edge design converge to challenge the status quo of traditional living spaces. In today's landscape, where skyrocketing home prices and cramped urban apartments are the norm, the Tesla tiny house emerges as a radical reimagining of home. This isn't just about downsizing, it's about designing a lifestyle that embraces ingenuity over excess and efficiency over opulence. Modeled on Elon Musk's philosophy of relentless innovation, the Tesla tiny house transforms what might seem like a restrictive space into a dynamic environment, smart, adaptable, and incredibly stylish. Every element from ultra-durable materials to seamless tech integrations serves a singular purpose: to redefine living on your own terms in an ever-evolving world. In a time when buying a home has become a massive financial burden, where a tiny apartment in a major city can cost over $100,000, and rent prices are soaring past what millions can afford, the idea of a well-built home that costs less than a high-end motorcycle is enough to make the world stop and think. So what exactly makes the Tesla tiny house so special? First, let's get one thing straight. Elon Musk doesn't settle for half-baked solutions. Every time he steps into a new space, he's not just looking to improve things, he's out to rewrite the rules entirely. So when Musk revealed that he lives in a tiny home just 120 square feet in size, people were stunned. Here's a billionaire, worth hundreds of billions of dollars. He could live anywhere. A castle, a luxury penthouse, a futuristic smart mansion, but instead chooses a house so small it almost seems unreal. But this isn't just a symbolic gesture. This is the beginning of an experiment, one that's now evolving into a full-scale project, with the potential to completely change how we think about housing. The Tesla tiny house isn't some far-off concept. It's a direct response to real-world challenges like the housing crisis, climate change, and the growing inequality in access to livable space. It's sustainable, affordable, and smart, just like Tesla's other breakthroughs. Built with a modular prefab design, the Tesla tiny house can be mass-produced in a factory just like a car and shipped anywhere in the world. Setup takes just a few hours. No foundation, no need to hire a professional construction crew. And forget about bricks, cement, or paint. This house doesn't need any of that. Instead, the structure is made from ultra-durable materials like stainless steel, the same kind used in the Cybertruck, reinforced concrete, high-density insulation, and engineered wood panels compressed under 250,000 pounds of pressure. The result? A rock-solid structure that can withstand powerful storms, heavy snowfall, even flooding, things that many traditional homes still struggle to handle. And that's just the exterior. When you step inside the Tesla tiny house, the first thing that hits you isn't how small it is, it's how spacious it feels, way more than you'd expect. Honestly, when we first looked into what was inside, we were blown away. Even though it's just 120 square feet, a little over 11 square meters, the space is designed so smartly, making use of every inch. It's minimal on purpose. Every item, every detail has its place. Nothing feels extra, and nothing's missing. Right as you walk in, you're greeted by the living room/bedroom right in the center, the heart of the home. There's a deep, neutral-colored sofa tucked against the wall that instantly feels cozy and inviting. But it's not just a regular couch. It folds out into a double bed with built-in pillows and blankets, so you can easily switch the space from day hangouts to nighttime rest. Across from the sofa is a sleek 55-inch TV mounted on the wall. Thanks to the solid construction and high-end materials, it doesn't feel bulky at all. In fact, it adds a modern luxe touch. On both sides, there are floating shelves, a mini bookshelf, and recessed LED lights running along the edges. Stylish and space-saving at the same time. Big glass windows let in tons of natural light, making the whole place feel open and airy. Totally different from the cramped feeling you might expect from a space this size. It's like bringing the outdoors in, and it makes all the difference. Another cool surprise is the bathroom. It's located right next to the living area, but somehow still feels totally private. It's separated by a frosted, tempered glass door, which lets natural light flow through while still giving you the privacy you need. Inside, there's a glass-enclosed standing shower with a modern fixed shower head, a sink, mirrored cabinet, toilet, and the standout feature, a vaulted skylight ceiling made of clear glass. So yeah, you can literally shower with sunlight streaming in or stargaze while you rinse off at night. It's a unique experience, both practical and poetic. And, honestly, not something you'd even find in most high-end apartments. Right next to that is the kitchen area, tucked beside the living space but separated by a compact bar or mini dining table. It may be small, but it's got everything you need. An induction cooktop, built-in microwave, deep stainless steel sink, mini fridge, smart storage drawers, a range hood, and even rotating hanging racks for extra convenience. Every inch is custom designed to make the most of the space, keeping things functional and easy to move around while still feeling neat, modern, and fully equipped like a standard-size home. You'll also notice how the interior feels almost magical, thanks to the sliding wardrobe with frosted glass, color-changing LED lights, and touch-sensitive handles. It gives off serious luxury hotel vibes. But the Tesla tiny house isn't just about its unique design or smart space-saving layout. What really stands out is how user-friendly it is. You can control everything: lighting, temperature, windows, and appliances from a central control panel or right from your phone with an app. Priced at $19,999, the Tesla tiny house also comes with a clearly laid out power and water system that's designed to be plug and play. There's no need to mess with complicated installations. You can get things up and running super easily. Even at this price point, it keeps the flexibility and mobility you'd expect from a tiny home, but adds a few practical upgrades for folks who aren't quite ready to go fully off-grid. The power setup, for example, works with a long extension cord that plugs directly into an outdoor outlet or your home's existing power system. So if you're setting it up in a temporary spot like a campground or your backyard, you can just run a cord from the main house and have everything powered up in no time. That's especially helpful if you're looking to cut down on installation costs or just want something that works right away without jumping through a bunch of hoops. Still, if you do decide to upgrade to a solar setup with panels and a Tesla Powerwall, higher tier packages will let you go completely off-grid and energy independent. And just like the power system, the water setup is super straightforward. Instead of installing a complex plumbing system, the house is designed to hook up to a standard outdoor hose. You just run the hose to the house and boom, you've got water for everyday needs like showering, doing dishes, or running water to the sink and kitchen. This setup is a cost-effective solution that lets you start using the house right away without having to install a complicated water system. And because the water hookup is so simple, it's easy to move the house around to different locations without stressing over whether there's a water supply available. If you're looking for something a bit more high-end, you can always upgrade to a more complete water system with filtration and water-saving features. It'll cost a bit extra, but it can turn the space into something even more premium and sustainable. And don't worry about waste management. The $19,999 tiny house is also described as having water tanks, waste tanks, and a battery for off-grid living compatibility. Basically, that means it comes equipped with a waste tank, so you don't need to hook into the city's sewage system. It makes off-grid living a whole lot easier and more self-sufficient, while also helping reduce your impact on the environment. The waste tank in the Tesla tiny house is designed to hold a decent amount of waste over time, and you can deal with it using methods like composting or other modern waste treatment tech. That way, you won't need to rely on external sewage connections or waste services. It's all handled in-house, so to speak. Another major factor that lets Tesla bring the price of this house down to such an unbelievable level is that they're not relying on external supply chains. Unlike traditional construction companies that have to buy materials through third parties, Tesla controls its entire production line, from hardware to software. They've built a fully in-house, closed-loop system. This not only cuts costs, but also guarantees quality and speeds up the production process. On top of that, the modular design means you can easily expand the home, connect multiple units side by side, or even stack them to create 2- or 3-story setups. So you could start with a small, affordable unit and gradually build out as your needs grow. It's a perfect model for young professionals just starting out, or families with a modest income. Of course, the $19,999 base model doesn't come packed with high-end furniture or a complete energy system. It's a basic setup, simple interior, minimal fixtures. But that's actually a plus for a lot of people. It gives you the freedom to design the interior however you like, pick out appliances that fit your lifestyle, and really make the space your own. Higher-end models can go up to $25,000, or even close to $40,000. Those versions come fully loaded. Furniture, appliances, a solar energy system with Tesla Powerwall, Starlink satellite internet, and even advanced features like greywater recycling or air purification systems inspired by SpaceX tech. When you look at the full picture, it becomes clear. Tesla's not just building houses. They're trying to redefine the way we live, making it more flexible, more sustainable, and way more affordable. Of course, tiny houses aren't without their challenges. From setup to daily living, there are definitely things you'll need to figure out along the way. Even though Tesla says the materials are safe, water-resistant, and mold-resistant, let's be real over time. Wear and tear is inevitable. Without proper maintenance, parts like the walls, floors, or windows can start to crack or break down after extended use. Good insulation is a must in a tiny home, especially in the winter. If the insulation isn't up to par, it can get freezing cold in winter and unbearably hot in summer, which means higher energy bills just to stay comfortable. Tiny homes are generally best suited for 1 or 2 people. With such a compact space, privacy can be hard to come by. Your bedroom, living room, and even bathroom might all be within the same general area, which can feel a bit cramped. And let's face it, if someone visits, they'll basically see your whole life as soon as they walk through the door. That's not everyone's vibe. If you're someone who's good at keeping things tidy and you don't mind decluttering often, great. But for folks with busy schedules, the limited space can start to feel overwhelming when stuff begins to pile up. Keeping things neat requires a constant effort, and being ruthless about getting rid of things you don't need has to become second nature. Plus, life changes. Our needs evolve. You might need more space down the line, maybe you start working from home or your family grows. In those situations, a tiny house might not cut it anymore. Moving it around can be a hassle, and let's be honest, there's not much space for kids to run around and play inside. Yeah, those are definitely some things that might bother you if you choose to live in a space that's just 12 feet wide. Nothing's perfect if you're looking to save money. You'll have to simplify and accept the trade-offs that come with a $19,999 home. So, back to the big question we asked at the beginning of this video. Why did Elon Musk choose to live in one? And how does a tiny house tie into the bigger vision of Tesla's CEO? Now that we've taken a closer look at the $19,999 tiny house, we think it's pretty clear. It's incredibly versatile, can be installed almost anywhere, and that's exactly the kind of vision Elon Musk is known for. He's always been committed to developing sustainable solutions, and the tiny house fits right into that mission. After all, Elon reportedly lived in one of these for at least 3 years. He knows firsthand what it's capable of. A compact, energy-efficient home aligns perfectly with Tesla's core philosophy, especially when you think about that integrating tech like the Tesla solar roof or the Powerwall battery storage system. Producing homes like this could allow Tesla to expand its ecosystem without having to reinvent the wheel. They can leverage existing parts, tech, and supply chains they've already mastered. So Elon choosing to live in a tiny house? That could be part of a bigger strategy, a personal experiment even. And if the model works, you can bet he's ready to invest whatever it takes to bring it to life. Because let's be honest, his long-term vision might involve tiny houses in ways we haven't fully realized yet. We all know Musk hasn't given up on Mars, not until he successfully sends humans and Tesla products to live there. He's already talked about bringing the Cybertruck Tesla bot and other tech to the Red Planet. So wouldn't building actual shelter, or even entire settlements, be the next logical step? Sure, the idea of building a full Martian neighborhood made of tiny houses might sound a bit far-fetched today. But when you really think about it, it's not that crazy. In fact, it could be more realistic than we think, and maybe even sooner than we expect. Building a large-scale residential area on Mars comes with some pretty intense challenges, from limited resources and a harsh environment to the logistics of transporting materials all the way from Earth. But tiny houses could be a practical first step. These compact units could be shipped from Earth and assembled quickly on Mars, providing astronauts with basic, functional living spaces right from the start. In fact, tiny houses could play a key role in laying the foundation for larger infrastructure initiatives on Mars. They'd be part of a long-term strategy to gradually develop sustainable living zones, where everything from renewable energy to resource recycling is optimized, paving the way for the first small communities on the Red Planet. So what's holding Tesla back from bringing tiny houses to market right now? The answer's pretty straightforward. Tesla's got a lot on its plate. From building new electric vehicle models, developing the Optimus humanoid robot, expanding Starlink's infrastructure, to navigating the intense pressure of public markets, there are a ton of massive projects in motion all at once. But that doesn't mean the housing project is off the table. In fact, Elon Musk's choice to live in a small boxable unit sparked an explosion of interest. Boxable received over 100,000 pre-orders in a short time, a clear sign that people are hungry for a new kind of housing solution. One that's cheaper, more accessible, and genuinely sustainable. In a world where the gap between rich and poor keeps growing, where millions of people spend their whole lives in debt just to afford a place to live, the idea of living simply, efficiently, and with real purpose is starting to feel more appealing than ever. Elon Musk isn't living minimally because he has to. He's doing it because he chooses to. It's a decision rooted in vision, not limitation. And honestly, if a billionaire can live happily in a compact, no-frills home, why can't we? The Tesla tiny house isn't simply a marvel of minimalism. It's a bold statement about our future. It encapsulates the idea that a home's value isn't measured by its size, but by its potential to enrich lives through smart design and sustainable choices. This vision of compact living challenges us to rethink our assumptions about what makes a space truly livable. By adopting such innovative solutions, we can unlock new possibilities in urban and rural settings alike, paving the way for affordable, adaptable, and environmentally responsible living. Curious to see how these revolutionary ideas will reshape our world? We invite you to join the conversation. Share your thoughts on how technology and creativity can transform our living spaces, and stay tuned as we delve deeper into the world of sustainable design. Subscribe, follow us for more updates, and take the first step with us toward reimagining a lifestyle that's as innovative as it is accessible.